Hello everyone, this is Keith Snyder from PSIGEN Software. This recording is another PSIGEN success story. That's where we focus on the success of a deployment of one of our solutions. Today's client that we're going to reference is someone you may have heard of. It's the Microsoft Corporation. Specifically, they started their first project with PSICapture in their legal department. To go a step further, they actually use it for immigration documents. These would be H-1B visas used for hiring non-U.S. citizens to work within the United States. The challenge they focus is the visa documents are both content and time sensitive, which means you have to keep them secure and process them very, very quickly. They get about 3,000 of those per month, and they're up to 100 pages apiece. So that's a lot of paper they have to deal with. Add to that the fact that they had to retrieve those documents, physical paper documents, across multiple buildings on their campus created quite a challenge for them. The solution that they required had to integrate directly into SharePoint. Of course, what else would Microsoft use? They had to leverage content types within SharePoint. They had to deal with a lot of different documents and a large volume of documents. They actually scanned 15 million records, 15 million pages within the first year. They wanted to automatically index the metadata right into SharePoint, then create those as searchable PDFs, so they wanted to search the content of the documents themselves, and then allow the knowledge workers, the information workers, folks dealing with the paper themselves, define and expand the classification rules while they were scanning the documents right in the batch. Let's go ahead and move into a demonstration now of what we did for Microsoft. These documents have been modified to protect the innocent, but they're the same documents other than the names have changed. I'm going to simulate a scan here. If you're running a Direct Connect scanner, you wouldn't see the file menu on the left-hand side. You just hit the big green button here and drive the scanner. We're going to import these images all as single pages. Once classification happens, after full-page OCR, we're going to stitch those back together again. So documents that should be together will be together. We have we can use things like separation pages like barcode and patch code. In this solution, we did not need to. We have set up first page and last page rules to identify where a document begins and ends. So the process right now that's happening is we're doing a full page OCR to make the documents intelligent. Then we're going to run some complex business rules against those, mainly leveraging regular expressions, to determine what documents did we just capture. So it identifies the forms based on the content of the forms. So using OCR and regular expressions, or using barcodes if you wish, you can identify what forms are there. If a document is not recognized, the users, those knowledge workers or information workers I mentioned earlier, they can easily set up new classification rules for both first page and last page with point and click approach. So all of those documents were identified correctly, and we're now auto-indexing. So in this stage, we are actually extracting the metadata that will be populating SharePoint at the end of the process here. So what you're seeing so far can be happening in the background, could be happening on a server in your IT room or even on an Azure environment, and the users don't sit here and have to watch the bars go across the screen. Until you get here, this is the quality assurance stage, where you have the image on the right and the metadata on the left. And when you click on the metadata, it shows you on the screen where it found the information. So you see Steve Jobs here. I like that one. And you see Steve's application number or A number. If the information is not on the image, as you see here, we show you a blank file, or blank field, excuse me, where you can manually populate that or use a drop-down list to populate it. The next step of the process is to make searchable PDF or PDFAs if you wish. We have both options. The speed of which this runs really depends on the content of the document itself, as well as the speed of your machine, and how many OCR cores you license. So a single core is included in our base software. You can go all the way up to 16 cores for OCR. Of course, you have to have 16 cores on your environment to leverage that, but it goes very, very fast if you want to leverage all 16 cores. My machine's a 4-core machine, so you get an idea of speed there. The last step of the process, and again, this can be happening lights out in the server, so you don't have to sit here and watch it run. But now we're actually publishing those documents into Office 365. Now, it could be an on-prem environment, or it could be SharePoint Online or Office 365 if you wish. Let me quickly show you here what we have in Office 365. You can now see that the files have been populated, as well as the managed metadata within SharePoint, or in this case 365, with the metadata extracted from image. I didn't have to type it in. We auto-extracted all of that in the capture process. In conclusion, the solution was able to eliminate 2 very large record rooms within the Microsoft campus, and of course, they've repurposed that space since then. They're able to collaborate these documents on a global scale, so no more moving paper around. They're able to collaborate on the images with different independent law firms and different folks within Microsoft. They've increased their accuracy, it's a bit astounding, above 99% in this project. And now they've expanded into other areas. So as it started with the legal department and it focused on immigration documents, it's gone farther. Now it's gone to human resource documents as well as accounts receivable. It's a great story. Now, as we wrap this up, I'll share with you that PSIGEN can work with a lot of different SharePoint environments. It has a lot of SharePoint-specific features, such as creating document sets or populating managed metadata or using ADFS or Active Directory Federated Security. So a lot of features there specific to SharePoint itself. It can use external data sources for database lookups, provider lookups, including SharePoint itself, and then it can grow into a lot of different departments. So SharePoint is a fantastic solution for document management, and PSIGEN has a phenomenal integration into SharePoint to really help you leverage those paper documents in your SharePoint world. You want to learn more by looking at the case study you see on the screen here. You can download that from PSIGEN.com as well. And if you'd like to learn more information about PSIGEN, please email us at sales@PSIGEN.com or hit any of these links you see on the screen here. We're happy to help you out in any way we can, and watch for more stories like this one. Thank you for your time.